A human warrior offered his blood to rescue a dying alien princess. The result was beyond belief. Rin Hale had learned long ago that space did not care who you were. It did not care if you were brave, loyal, or tired. It only cared if you survived. He stood inside the broken corridor of the Aurelian royal ship, smoke drifting around him, metal groaning under stress. The battle outside shook the hull again and again, each hit sounding like the heartbeat of something dying. Rin was human, hired as a warrior by the coalition fleets. He wore armor patched so many times it barely looked like one piece. His helmet was cracked on the left side, showing part of his face. Blood ran down his cheek, but he ignored it. Pain was normal. Fear was useless. He fired his rifle down the corridor, forcing enemy soldiers back. They were tall, sharp-limbed creatures with pale armor and empty eyes. They had attacked without warning, targeting the royal ship first. That alone told Rin how serious this was. Aurelian guards rushed past him, their movements desperate and unsteady. One of them shouted something in their language, panic-heavy in the sound. Rin caught only one word from his translator, "Princess." Rin turned and followed. They reached the inner medical chamber, sealed by heavy doors. Inside, the air was thick with the smell of burned metal and alien blood. Medical lights flickered. Several Aurelian healers stood around a single raised platform. On it lay Princess Lyessa. Even wounded, she was striking. Her skin glowed faintly, like moonlight under water. Her long hair spread across the platform, stained dark where blood soaked into it. Her chest rose and fell unevenly. Every breath looked like it might be her last. A healer stepped back, lowering his hands. His voice trembled as he spoke to the others. Rin's translator rendered the meaning clear. "She is lost." Another healer shook her head. "Her core is failing. The radiation weapon damaged her beyond repair." Rin felt his stomach tighten. He had seen death on dozens of worlds, but this felt different. This was not just another casualty. This was the end of a people's future. An older Aurelian male stood at the foot of the platform. His armor was marked with symbols of rank. His eyes were fixed on Lyessa, full of grief held tight by discipline. This was Iran Tal, her guardian and commander. Rin stepped closer. "There has to be something," he said. "Anything." Iran Tal looked at him. "We have tried all methods, our science, our medicine, nothing works." Outside, another explosion rocked the ship. Dust fell from the ceiling. Time was running out. Rin's gaze moved back to the princess. Her heart monitor gave a slow, uneven signal. Each beat was weaker than the last. Rin remembered something he had overheard months ago while drinking with Aurelian officers. A story half treated as myth, something about ancient bloodlines and shared origins. He had laughed it off then. Now the memory returned with sharp clarity. "What about blood?" Rin asked. The healers froze. Iran Tal frowned. "Her blood type is unique. No donor exists." Rin swallowed. His mouth felt dry. "What about human blood?" The reaction was instant. Shock, fear, anger. "That is madness," one healer said. "Human blood is unstable. It adapts too fast. It could destroy her cells." "It could kill her instantly," another added. Rin nodded slowly. "She is already dying." Silence fell over the chamber. Iran Tal studied Rin's face. "You understand what you offer?" "Yes." "You may die." "Yes." The guardian looked back at Lyessa. Her breathing stuttered. The monitor dipped again. Iran Tal closed his eyes for a long moment. When he opened them, there was pain there and something like resolve. "Prepare the transfusion," he said. The healers hesitated, then moved. Rin removed his armor and sat beside the platform. Cold instruments pressed against his arm. A needle slid into his vein. His blood flowed through a clear tube toward the princess. The monitor beeped faster. At first, nothing happened. Then Lyessa's body arched sharply. A healer shouted in alarm. Her skin glowed brighter, almost white. Lines of light spread under her skin like living veins. "Stop it!" someone yelled. Rin felt heat rush through him like fire in his veins. His vision blurred. He clenched his teeth and stayed still. "No," Tal said. "Continue." The ship shook violently as enemy fire struck again. The lights went out, then returned dimmer than before. Laius's heartbeat spiked, then dropped. Flat. The monitor screamed. One healer stepped back in horror. "She is gone." Rin's world tilted. His strength faded. Darkness crept in from the edges of his sight. Then the light exploded. Laius's body lifted from the platform, surrounded by a radiant glow. The monitor restarted, beating strong and fast. The chamber filled with energy that made the air hum. Rin collapsed to the floor, unconscious. As the healers stared in disbelief, the princess took a deep breath and opened her eyes. Rin awoke slowly, his head pounding like it had been crushed in a vice. The cold metal floor pressed against his cheek. He tried to move but found his body heavy, weak, yet not entirely like before. Every muscle felt strange, as if it carried something inside it that had never been there. Laiusa stood nearby, looking different. Her pale glow was gone, replaced by a calm strength that radiated from her. Her hair shimmered slightly, almost alive, and her eyes seemed to hold light from another world. She moved with purpose, not like someone who had been dying moments ago. "Rin," she said, her voice steady, carrying both command and curiosity. Rin struggled to sit upright. What happened?" His throat was dry. His voice sounded strange to him, stronger, steadier. Laiusa turned to the healers. "She is alive," one of them whispered, eyes wide in disbelief. Tal stepped forward. His gaze was fixed on Laiusa, a mixture of fear and awe in his expression. "Impossible," he muttered under his breath. Laiusa looked at Rin. "Your blood, it saved me." Rin tried to shake his head but found he could not. "Saved me? No, you saved yourself." "You changed me," Laiusa said. Her voice trembled slightly. "I feel different, stronger, faster. The pain is gone. My wounds healed themselves." Rin stared at her. "Different how?" Laiusa lifted a hand and a faint light ran along her fingers. She flexed and the energy arced slightly like static. "I don't know. I can feel the ship, the hull, the enemies outside. I can sense them." Suddenly, the outer wall of the chamber shook. An alarm blared. Through the viewport, Rin could see enemy ships attempting to breach the hull. In other circumstances, panic would have seized him, but now it felt distant. Laiusa stepped forward, placing her hand against the metal wall. Light flared from her palm. The hull itself seemed to ripple, bending in a way that made the enemy ships' lasers scatter harmlessly. Rin blinked. "That's impossible." Tal's jaw tightened. "It is impossible, yet it is happening." The healers hurried to secure equipment, whispering in urgent tones. "We have never seen anything like this," one said. "Her cells, they are rewriting themselves, faster than any known biology." Rin slowly rose to his feet, each movement revealing newfound stability in his body. He felt stronger than he had ever been. "Laiusa, your enemies," he began. "They are retreating," Laiusa said, her eyes still scanning the external battle. "They are afraid." Tal stepped closer to Laiusa. You survived human blood." His voice was trembling. This is not natural." Laiusa's gaze softened. "Rin risked everything for me." He did not hesitate. Perhaps that was the key. Perhaps the bond formed in that moment changed us both. Rin felt a twinge of confusion. Bond. He had never thought of anything beyond surviving another battle, yet now he felt linked to her. Something deep in his chest hummed, resonating in a way he could not explain. Meanwhile, alarms continued to blare. A warning flashed on the monitor. Energy spikes were occurring throughout the ship. Something within Laiusa reacted to the readings, her eyes widening. "They are not done," she said softly, almost to herself. "Something is coming, something drawn by this energy." Tal frowned. "We must isolate her for study. The council will demand it." "No," Laiusa said sharply. "I am not a subject. I am alive because of choice. And I will not be caged." Rin stepped forward. "Then we need a plan. They will not accept this without trying to control you, princess. We have to move." Laiusa nodded. Then we leave this chamber together." The healers were reluctant but could not stop them. Kale Dren, a young engineer who had been repairing systems in the lower decks, appeared at the doorway. "If you want to survive, you'll need a route," he said, pointing toward a maintenance shaft. "Follow me. It's risky but faster than the main corridors." Lysa and Rin moved quickly, their new bond allowing them to navigate the damaged ship with precision. Each step, each turn, was almost premonitory. They avoided collapsing floors and falling debris effortlessly. As they emerged into the lower deck, they could hear the distant clash of battle, explosions, the screech of tearing metal, the cries of the wounded. Yet Lysa moved calmly, sensing the dangers before they arrived. Kale glanced at Rin. "I've never seen anyone like her. And I've worked on this ship for 10 cycles." Rin shook his head, still trying to grasp the magnitude of what had happened. "Neither have I." Lysa paused, placing a hand on the control panel. The ship responded instantly, systems reactivating under her guidance. "They will come back," she said, "and next time they will not be so easy to repel. I need to understand this energy. I need answers." Iran Tal appeared again, blocking their path. "You cannot leave. The Council." "I am no longer theirs," Lysa said. "I am mine." The confrontation escalated when a Council security unit arrived, weapons drawn. They did not fire immediately, sensing the energy emanating from the princess. One tentative shot hit the floor and melted the metal. The group froze. Lyasa's eyes glowed, and the energy surged outward. Rin instinctively moved to cover her, feeling the heat and force radiate through his own body. The unit dropped their weapons, trembling. Iran Tal realized then that they were witnessing something beyond comprehension. "We must retreat," he said, lowering his weapon. "For now." Lysa led the group to a shuttle bay, moving faster than anyone thought possible. Systems that had been offline for cycles powered up under her influence. The shuttle roared to life. Kale piloted, Iran Tal and Rin covering the interior. The moment they launched, the external battle intensified, but the enemy ship seemed hesitant, unsure of how to confront the now transformed princess. As they cleared the immediate danger, Lysa finally sat back. Her breathing was steady. "We are not safe," she said, "but we have survived the first test. That is something, that is hope." Rin sat beside her, his own thoughts a storm. "Hope or a new kind of war?" Lysa turned to him, her eyes shining. "Perhaps both, but I will not die. And I will not let you die either. Together, we will face what comes next." Outside the shuttle, distant stars glimmered. Unknown to them, the energy from Lyasa's transformation had sent a signal into the void, alerting forces far beyond their immediate enemies. Forces that had been sleeping, waiting for a sign that the universe was ready to change. For the first time, Rin understood that their bond had set something larger into motion, something beyond both human and Aurelian comprehension, and the universe was already watching. Rin and Lysa had been traveling through the damaged sections of the ship for hours, guided by the young engineer, Kale Dren. Each corridor they moved through seemed more unstable than the last. Sparks flew from exposed wires, the walls groaned, and debris fell without warning. Yet Lysa moved with calm precision, her energy guiding her and Rin as if they were one mind. Kale glanced at Rin. "I don't know how she's doing this. The readings from the platform, it's impossible." Rin wiped sweat from his brow. "I'm starting to believe impossible isn't a word anymore." As they reached a safer area, they came across a hidden research lab. Rin felt instinctively that it was important. Lysa approached the entrance and paused. Her fingers traced the keypad, and the door opened without resistance. Inside, the lab was a mess of overturned equipment and broken screens. Holographic images flickered in the darkness. Myra Voss, a xenobiologist known for her work with alien physiology, was crouched near one console, studying readings intently. She looked up as Lysa and Rin entered. Her eyes widened. "You're alive, but not just alive, you've changed. Your blood, human blood, altered your physiology in ways we never expected. Rin frowned. Altered her, Myra shook her head. It's more than that. Your blood carried dormant adaptive traits. I've only seen such rapid cellular restructuring in simulations, never in a living organism. And now she's more than Aurelian. Laius's gaze met Rin's. I can feel things I've never felt. Memories, visions like someone else's experiences flowing through me. I can see histories I do not know. Rin's heart tightened. Visions? Yes, Laius said. I see wars, civilizations, knowledge long lost. It is as if your blood awakened something hidden inside me, something our species shared long ago. Myra's fingers flew over the console, pulling up scans and holograms. This explains a lot, she muttered. The Council lied to their people. They erased the truth about our shared ancestry with humanity. It was hidden to control the Aurelian dominion. And now? Lysa looked at her, eyes glowing faintly. Now the truth cannot be hidden. Suddenly, the lab's alarm system blared. Sensors detected movement outside. A council security force had arrived, their weapons drawn. Rin placed himself between Lysa and the approaching soldiers. We have company, he said. Laius's hand glowed again. The energy she controlled surged outward, and the doors slammed shut with force. Sparks flew from the panels as the soldiers struggled to override the lock. One of the soldiers spoke rapidly in Aurelian. Myra translated. They intend to dissect him and study her. They fear what your bond represents. Rin's jaw tightened. We're not staying for that, Lysa nodded. Then we leave now. Kale handed Rin a small device. This will guide you to a shuttle dock. It's risky but faster than the main corridors. The group moved cautiously, avoiding security patrols. Lysa's energy illuminated their path, revealing weak points in the ship's structure. They slipped past armed guards and through collapsed maintenance tunnels, moving as one coordinated unit. During the escape, Lysa's visions grew more intense. She stopped briefly, placing a hand on her forehead. I see a fleet coming, something massive. They're drawn by this energy, I cannot ignore it. Rin looked at her, concern evident. You're still recovering, we need to survive first. Lysa shook her head. No, survival is not enough. This is bigger than us. I need to understand it before it finds us. As they approached the shuttle bay, the Council's elite squad appeared ahead of them. Lysa stepped forward, her energy flaring. The air around her shimmered. Rin felt heat and force pressing into him. He instinctively shielded her as the squad attempted to fire. The weapons melted or jammed as the energy disrupted their mechanisms. The soldiers froze, fear evident on their faces. Iran Tal, still loyal but conflicted, arrived and whispered, "The Council will never forgive this." Lysa's gaze met his. I am not their property. I am alive because of choice, not because they allowed it. Stand aside or be left behind. Iran Tal lowered his weapon, nodding reluctantly. Then we retreat. The group reached the shuttles. Kale took the controls, and Rin and Iran prepared to defend the interior. Lysa's energy surged, powering systems that had been offline for decades. The shuttle roared to life. As they launched, the enemy fleet hesitated. Their scanners picked up the energy surrounding Lysa and Rin, uncertain how to engage. One ship attempted a missile strike, but Lysa's energy reacted instantly, deflecting the weapon and sending it harmlessly into space. Rin watched in awe. I've never seen anything like this. Lysa's eyes scanned the view screen. Neither have I. This power is a part of me now. And it will only grow. Myra, still analyzing readings from her console, said, We are witnessing the beginning of something monumental. Humans, your blood has set off changes that could rewrite the galaxy. Rin looked at Lysa. And we're just in the middle of it. Lysa nodded. Yes, and it is only the beginning. The universe will never see humans and Aurelians the same way again. Outside the shuttle, distant stars shimmered. Rin could feel the energy pulse from Lysa. Somewhere beyond their immediate enemies, forces stirred. Ancient powers, long dormant, were awakening to the signal sent by their bond. Rin realized then that this was no longer about survival. It was about a future neither species had dared to imagine, and they were at the center of it. The shuttle sailed through the emptiness of space, distant stars streaking past as though urging them onward. Lyasa's energy radiated softly, her glow stabilizing into a calm, powerful aura. Rin could feel it through the shuttle floor, through the air, through every part of his body. It was a connection, a bond he could not explain but trusted completely. Kale Dren, at the controls, glanced nervously at the princess. "I've piloted ships through battles before, but nothing like this. You make the ship respond like it's alive." Lyasa's eyes were fixed ahead. "It is alive in a way. It responds to energy, to thought, to life. My blood bond with Rin, it amplifies everything around us." "Even this shuttle," Rin frowned. "If it's that powerful, why didn't the council use it themselves?" Lyasa shook her head. "They feared it, feared what it could become, feared humans. Now they will see it firsthand." Outside, the enemy armada returned, larger than before. Their ships moved with intent, weapons primed to strike. Yet when they approached, something changed. The moment they came within range of Lyasa's aura, their coordination faltered. Missiles misfired, weapons jammed, and ships collided with each other. Confusion and fear spread through their ranks. Rin realized humanity had been underestimated. Time and again, humans had survived battles against stronger, more advanced foes. That adaptability, that refusal to submit, was embedded in their biology. And now it was linked to Lyasa's transformation, creating something no one had anticipated. Myra Voss studied the readings beside Rin. Humans are more than what we thought. Their blood carries traits that can awaken abilities in compatible species. It's survival at the cellular level, honed for centuries. Lyasa's transformation, its proof. Lyasa extended a hand toward the nearest enemy ship. Her energy surged outward, invisible forces bending the craft's trajectory. It spun wildly, crashing into another vessel. Rin instinctively raised his arms, shielding the shuttle from residual energy, feeling the immense power ripple through him. "This is insane," Rin muttered. "We're not just surviving, we're unstoppable." Lyasa's gaze met his. "Not unstoppable, responsible. We must control it, use it wisely, or it will destroy more than just our enemies." Suddenly, the shuttle's sensors picked up another signal. Far beyond the immediate battle, a fleet of unknown origin emerged. Their ships were massive, their hulls dark and ominous, pulsing with energy. They had been drawn by the same signal that had awakened Lyasa's powers. This was no longer a battle, it was a confrontation with the unknown. Kale's hands trembled. "I don't think we're ready for that." Lyasa's energy flared, sensing the intent of the approaching fleet. "We are ready, together." Rin adjusted his stance beside her. The bond they shared now allowed him to feel her focus, her resolve. He no longer acted on instinct alone. He moved as part of a unit, their actions synchronized. Where Lyasa commanded energy, Rin could predict and counter threats in real time. The enemy ships fired, beams of destructive force aimed at them. Lyasa extended both hands and the energy pulsed outward, forming a protective dome. Weapons melted or deflected harmlessly. The ships hesitated, unable to comprehend the new threat. "Rin, we need to act," Lyasa said. "I can hold them, but we must strike back strategically." Rin gripped his weapon and moved alongside her, his mind clearing as the bond focused his thoughts. They targeted the most dangerous ships first, coordinating attacks that combined his tactical knowledge with her amplified energy. One by one, the enemy ships fell or fled, unable to withstand their combined power. As the battle waned, the immediate threat destroyed, Lyasa looked to Rin. "This is only the beginning. The galaxy will not understand what we have become. We must prepare for what comes next." Rin nodded. "And humanity, they will rise to the challenge. They always do." Iran Tal, who had been observing silently, approached. I was wrong about you both. The council feared what they did not understand, but now they cannot ignore it. You have changed everything. Lias's expression hardened. And we will ensure it changes for the better. No longer will our peoples be manipulated, divided, or used. This is our chance to create a future where survival is not the only goal. Myra Voss stepped forward, scanning the shuttle's systems. The energy from your transformation, Princess, it's contagious in a sense. It can awaken the same potential in humans elsewhere. You are the first but not the last. Humanity may never be the same. Rin looked at her, a mixture of pride and concern. Is that a good thing? Myra smiled faintly. It depends on who controls it, and I think you two will guide it well. Outside the shuttle, the stars shimmered, distant threats retreating. But far across the galaxy, unseen eyes monitored the energy pulse, calculating, learning. Forces that had slept for centuries now stirred, sensing that humans and their allies had become more than they ever imagined. Lysa and Rin stood together, their bond unbroken, knowing that the battles to come would be harder and more dangerous, yet confident in the strength they now shared. The age of humans had begun, not through fear or conquest, but through courage, sacrifice, and the courage to challenge fate itself. The shuttle drifted silently through space, far from the chaos they had left behind. Lysa's energy glowed steadily, calm now but still powerful. Rin watched her, feeling the bond between them stronger than ever. It was more than connection. It was understanding, instinct, trust. Myra Voss continued her observations, taking notes on the energy readings and physiological changes. What you two have done, she said quietly, changes everything. The Council will not be able to contain it. Humanity cannot be underestimated anymore. Rin nodded. They underestimated us before. Now they will learn. Lysa turned her gaze outward, eyes scanning distant stars. We have survived the immediate threat, but the galaxy is full of forces waiting for weakness. Our enemies will not give up. And now, new ones may appear, drawn by the same energy that saved me. Keldren piloted the shuttle with precision, yet kept glancing nervously at Lysa and Rin. I've never seen anything like what you've done. This bond, the energy, it's beyond comprehension. Lysa smiled faintly. It is beyond belief, but it exists. And it is our duty to guide it, to protect not just ourselves, but everyone who could be affected by this. Rin flexed his hands, feeling the residual energy from their bond. It feels like I'm connected to everything around me. The ship, you, even the stars, it's overwhelming. Lysa placed a hand on his arm. You are not alone in this. Together we can focus it. Use it wisely. Humanity's potential is greater than anyone thought, and it is now linked to the Aurelian legacy. That is something neither of us can ignore. Iran Tal, who had been silent, stepped forward. You have done what the Council could not. You have united human and Aurelian strength in a way they feared, but this will not be accepted easily. Some will resist, some will attack, and some will attempt to use this power for their own gain. Lysa's eyes narrowed. Then we will face them, together, and we will ensure that the future is not dictated by fear, but by choice, by courage, and by strength. Myra looked at Rin. Humans have always adapted, survived, and conquered challenges beyond reason. What you have done with your blood, your sacrifice, it has awakened something ancient. You are proof that humanity's potential was never truly limited. Rin swallowed, thinking of the battles he had fought, the sacrifices he had made, and now the bond he shared with Lysa. We can't just survive. We have to lead. Show them that humanity and our allies are stronger than they think. Lysa nodded. And we will. This is just the beginning. The Council, the enemies, the galaxy itself, they will have to recognize the change. And soon, forces that have slept for centuries will awaken, noticing the energy we now carry. Kale's hands tightened on the controls. Awaken? You mean more threats? Yes, Lysa said, but also allies. those who have waited for this moment, who understand the potential. We are the first but not the last. Humanity and Aurelians can now shape the future together. Rin looked at her, determination in his eyes. Then we prepare. Train, strategize, and lead. Whatever comes, we face it as one. Lysa smiled, the glow of her energy surrounding them. Yes, and humanity will rise not through fear but through courage, and the galaxy will see that we were never ordinary, we were always extraordinary. Outside the shuttle, stars streaked past like silent witnesses to the bond between human and Aurelian, a bond that had changed the course of the galaxy. Forces far away stirred, ancient watchers sensing the energy, realizing that humanity had awakened fully, a potential they had never seen before. The shuttle continued its journey, carrying the first true union of human courage and Aurelian power. Lysa and Rin stood together, ready for the challenges ahead. A new era had begun, one beyond fear, beyond doubt, and beyond belief. In the distance, unseen civilizations and powers watched and waited, understanding too late that humans were no longer ordinary. The age of humanity had begun, marked not by destruction, but by sacrifice, resilience, and the courage to change fate itself.